What's happening, World B March Boxing, and we back at it. More boxing videos. So I was here watching this Sky Sports YouTube channel. I was watching this interview they got with the man Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's there talking about everything, and actually Sky Sports, they asking him about everything about coming back, fighting in Saudi Arabia. They asked him everything about everything except his PD allegations, accusations, testing positive for a banned substance, etc. They ain't ask him nothing about that. They did ask him about Wilder, and all he did for that 10-minute video was just cry and bitch about Wilder. That's all he did for those 10 minutes he was on, all right? Now, it's been this the news of him testing positive for a banned substance, not one, but came out around July 24th. That's when that news came out, dogs. We're in November, damn near end of November, going into December, and still no news about this guy's B sample. You know what I mean? And the Sky Sports media, the British media, who was interviewing the guy, they didn't mention nothing about that. You know what I mean? Now, before anybody comes on this joint, and before you hit the thumbs down button, which I don't mind whatsoever, you can hit the thumbs down button all you want in defense of your man Dillian Whyte. But don't be mad at me. This video would actually not even exist. It'd be obsolete. Wouldn't exist whatsoever if this guy Dillian Whyte didn't test positive for a bad substance, and still he got allowed to fight by the United Kingdom, the UCAD. You know what I mean? Till this day, November 30th, we still don't have no B sample from this guy, and he's still able to fight. You know what I mean? The guy's crying about Wilder and not getting an opportunity, but you're not helping yourself when you test positive for a banned substance, and they still letting you fight in your country. Anywhere else, that shit would not happen. That did not happen with Billy Joe Saunders when he attempted to fight the man Bubu Andrade in Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, the way I think Eddie Hearn and them, they doing anything they can to sweep this news under the rug to the point where they think that maybe we'll forget about it. You know what I mean? That's what they try to do. But I ain't gonna forget about it. You know what I'm saying? As long as I see this greasy, this goofball, as long as I see this goofball's face, that's all I'm gonna think about him being a predicate steroid abuser. You know what I mean? It's disgusting how the media ain't even asking him nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man didn't fight a guy under PEDs, and also the glove situation. A lot of you people out here, that's why I don't fuck with a lot of people no more when it comes to this YouTube boxing shit, you know what I mean? Because your integrity, people's integrity, they don't have no MVP integrity, anything, you know what I mean? They got no morals, values, or principles, you know what I'm saying? We've seen guys die in boxing this year, at least three guys die in boxing. We've seen guys like Doku Kim pass away from a beating he got from the man Ray Boom Boom Mancini. You know what I'm saying? Benny Kid Perrette with the Mill Griffin. You know what I mean? But people don't care about that. They don't care about nothing. These fake ass boxing fans who claim that they boxing fans, they only care about the guys they like. And that's what I don't respect about a lot of channels out here no more. You know what I mean? Fellas out here, they just like how they be saying, y'all be saying in the UK, he done lost the plot, you know what I'm saying? How we saying DC, y'all fellas lunching, man. Straight up and down, lunching. Letting this guy get a pass, Dillian Whyte, and still he's able to fight in Saudi Arabia, a place where he's probably going to be juiced to the gills because he's going to be facing and fighting another predicate of steroid abuse in Marius Wack. Both of them going to be juiced to the gills, fighting in Saudi Arabia, a place that has no commission, no boxing commission. You know what I mean? Eddie Hearn and them trying to sweep this stuff under the rug, trying to act like it didn't happen because I don't think they're confident in the man Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? They're not confident in the man Anthony Joshua because if Anthony Joshua, if all fails on December 7th over there in Saudi Arabia, Matchroom Boxing, man, they got to big up at least they second best as far as pay-per-views and stuff. Second best heavyweight, and that's Dillian Whyte, a man who's never achieved a world title ever. You know what I mean? That's exactly what they try to do. There's no difference between Big Baby Miller and the man Dillian Whyte. Oh yeah, there is. Actually, there is. Yeah, at least Big Baby Miller admitted his wrongs. You know what I mean? He got busted, and he said, "Yo," he admitted what he did. Dillian Whyte, on the other hand, has nothing to say about any of this stuff. When it came out, he was talking about he can't talk because of his lawyers. But the man has everything to say about the WBC and Wilder, WBC protecting Wilder. My guy, you ducked Luis Ortiz. You can't even beat Oscar Rivas without juicing, my guy. Fuck wrong with you, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your... what kind of dude is this Dillian Whyte, man? You know what I'm saying? What kind of dude is this? You know what I mean? All them Dillian Whyte protectors, and I just have to assume they're British, because I don't know no American who likes this guy. All the Americans who do like this guy is them coons here on YouTube who love to flame up Deontay Wilder in order to get the views from the British public or the Caucasians who detest black fighters, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of black channels that do that right now, you know what I'm saying? Straight up and down, you know what I mean? Them the coon buckets. Just like the man Dillian Whyte, you know what I mean? Just like the man Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller lay over there laying on the man Eddie Hearn's shoulder after Eddie Hearns blasted him and chastised him for taking steroids, you know what I'm saying? And then again, remember, Dillian Whyte was the one, I'm sorry, Jarrell Miller was talking about AJ's on steroids. Maybe he knows something we don't. Dillian Whyte was the one talking about AJ's on steroids too. Maybe he knows something that we don't. The two things that these guys have in common is that they both tested Jarrell Miller and Big Baby and Dillian Whyte, you know what I'm saying? Trying to accuse AJ for something that maybe they know that we don't know, you know what I'm saying? Might be true, you know what I mean? Might not be true. But, you know, them saying that they probably in the same juicing club. They probably both be bending their backsides over a table and have some guy pump some steroids in their backside. You know what I mean? They probably have the same doctor. They probably met each other. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they probably had appointments back to back, one after the other. So when Jarrell Miller was leaving the PED juicer from shooting it up his buttocks, when he was leaving, then the man maybe AJ was coming in. And the man AJ left, maybe the man Dillian Whyte was coming in. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But these guys accuse AJ, and they the ones who got popped. So like I said, maybe they know something we don't know. But what we do know is they both got popped for steroids. You know what I'm saying? Gerald Miller, I guess he's still serving a suspension. I don't know. What's a suspension, man? These boxers only fight twice a year. The man could sit out for 9 months and they call it a day. That's a suspension. But Dillian Whyte, on the other hand, though, he got in the ring with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And he got put on his ass. You know what I mean? He got dropped. Yeah, he did. But he won the fight. But the man had steroids in his system, and still to this day we have no B samples. You know what I mean? So it's disgusting how that Sky Sports interview I watched. This guy talking about, oh, maybe he has to run up on Wilder in a bar and just punch him up and take his belt. Like, looks like them fumes from them steroids have gone up to your brain. They mushing up your brain, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, was that supposed to be a joke? Maybe he actually believed that. But come on, man. Talking to grown men here, man, like me. And there ain't nut ass thing you say. I'm going to dissect it and decipher it, and I'm going to straight decode that shit and flame your ass up. Because Dillian Whyte is a disgrace to boxing. And anybody who supports that man is also a disgrace to boxing. But that's neither here nor there, because there's a lot of disgraces to boxing right now. You know what I mean? And what I'm talking about is these predicate steroid offenders. And this British Sky Sports Media didn't even ask him Nathan about the ongoing investigation. Nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, E. Woodson, what the deal, man? Whoop-ants in the chat says Whyte would beat Wilder. Well, if he can beat Wilder, I highly doubt that, Whoop-ants. Now you're trolling. He ain't beating nobody. He can't even beat Oscar Rivas without taking steroids. Whoop-ants. What are you really talking about, man? What, based on what? What makes you think that that guy can beat Deontay Wilder. There's nobody beating Deontay Wilder right now in boxing in the heavyweight division. Put your money on him and you're going to win every time, just like Floyd Mayweather. Based on what, Wolpants? And I've seen your goofy ass before too in my comment section. Very rare, but I think when you last came, you was trolling. Speak up. Speak up, Wolpants. What rep it? What the deal says? Whyte is a low budget Ivan Drago. Yeah, he's a predicate offender. And the British media ain't asking him nothing about that. They just letting him slide, thinking we gonna forget about it. I'm not gonna forget about it. I just actually got mad tight watching that video, you know what I mean? You check it. Fix all the boxing. What the deal, fam? What's good with you? Yeah, Wolpants, what's up? Fix all the boxing. That's what videos. On Sky Sports, they interviewed the man, Dillian Whyte, on Sky Sports Boxing channel here on YouTube, you know what I mean? And it was about 10, 11 minutes long, and not one mention of Dillian Whyte's uh, steroid abuse and allegations and his case. All they asked him about, they were actually instigating whomever was interviewing him. They kept talking about Wilder. You know how popular Wilder is in the UK. I mean, the goofy channels from the United Kingdom that love to speak about Wilder every day. They giving him a lot of a lot of publicity, but they don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? They actually admire the guy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That's actually what it is. P Money, what the deal, my man? P Money, what's happening, dogs? He says, "What's goody, my GB Marsh? Hope you had a good Thanksgiving with your loved ones. White is a disgrace to the heavyweight division, right along with Jarrell Miller. These dudes are killing me." Yeah, that's what's up, P Money. I actually had a wonderful Thanksgiving with my family, and we we still got food till today. Right after I finish doing this this live stream, man, I'm about to go warm up a plate. You know what I mean? But I hope you had a great Thanksgiving as well with your fam. You know what I mean? I seen your video. Y'all was doing it big at some kind of restaurant. You know what I mean? So salute to you. But you said White is a disgrace to the heavyweight division along with Jarrell Miller. Agreed. But actually, Jarrell Miller admitted to his wrongdoings. That's the only difference. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure the same ramifications or actions that they took to find that Jabril Miller is dirty, they can find out the B samples for the man Dillian Whyte. But nah, they choose to sweep that under the rug because, like Eddie Hearn Sr. or Barry Hearn said, he's not confident Anthony Joshua gonna win that fight. So they gotta keep some. They gotta keep Dillian Whyte still hanging around just off the fact that, hey man, AJ's day could be over probably on December 7th. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality. Now, an Anthony Joshua fanboy might come in this joint and say, I'm hating, oh, I'm hating. No, my God, it's a possibility he could lose. There's a possibility he could win. So we're talking about the possibility of him losing in order to still keep the man Dillian Whyte relevant. Because if they 100% thought, or everybody knows for a fact that Anthony Joshua will beat Andy Ruiz on December 7th, if they know for a fact, then Dillian Whyte actually would have no legs out here, man. He'd be on crutches, you know what I mean? His career would be on crutches because they wouldn't give a F about that guy, straight up. What Whoopants? I'm gonna get to you in a sec. Wait up. CMD Boxing Report says, "What's good, my boy B Marsh? What's up with you, CMD? Main Boxing Biker. What the deal? What going on, Main Boxing Biker? What's up with you? What rep it?" It says Sky Sports is straight out propaganda. Has to be because they ain't mentioned nothing about the guy's ongoing case. What rep it says Eddie Hearn is a hypocrite. Yeah, he's actually one of the worst liars in boxing right now. And they have kept this undisputed fight from not happening for years because, hey, man, even Barry Hearn, the pop, said, man, we're going to milk this fight till we can get the most money up out of it. He said that when he was out there fishing. You don't believe me? Go look at IFL's channel. I'm not going to tell you which video. You're going to have to look for it. Do your own homework. You know what I mean? Whoopet says Ruiz beats AJ, Fury beats Wilder, Fury beats Ruiz, and then Whyte swaps all the belts by beating Fury. Heard it here first. What you got, an almanac? You have an almanac and you know this for a fact? If you do, man, let us know. Let everybody in this chat know so we can put money on all those scenarios you just mentioned. You know what I'm saying? And if it does so happen, hey, at least you've done the world a favor. You made us some money. You know what I mean? If you have an almanac like Back to the Future 2, that you can see the future. You know what I'm saying? Like Marty McFly. You know what I mean? And that's actually the scenarios how it's gonna play out. Ruiz beats AJ, Fury beats Wilder, etc. etc. You know what I'm saying? Then hey man, please. I'm dead serious, dogs. I'm dead serious. If you can show us that that's what's gonna happen. If you have an almanac, you can show us proof. Hey man, everybody in this chat and anybody who gonna be listening in the future, man, you only gonna make us some money, including yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna come on this piece and I'm gonna give it up straight up and down to whoop ants. You know what I mean? Straight up. P Money says, what up, the main boxing biker? Fink saw the boxing out here laughing. Fink saw the boxing says, back to the future type dude. Whoop says, looking into my crystal ball. Man, uh, look, man, anything could happen is boxing, you know what I mean? But I highly doubt it. Out of all those guys you said, when you said that the man Dillian Whyte is going to sweep all the belts by beating Fury, I, that scenario is where I think your almanac going to be busted. It's going to myth buster. You know what I mean? Because he's actually the weakest link out of all them guys you mentioned. You know what I mean? So it's going to be hard for me to believe that Dillian Whyte will become undisputed when he had an opportunity to fight AJ. You know what I'm saying? AJ offered him about $5, $6, $7 million, something in them whereabouts, a career high payday, but he turned it down straight off the fact because Anthony Joshua wasn't trying to relinquish power. If Dillian Whyte did so happen to beat him in the first fight that they were trying to negotiate for, if there was supposed to be a rematch, Anthony Joshua wanted all of the money again. You know what I mean? And the champion, if it was supposed to be Dillian Whyte, he'd have to get the crumbs again, just like the man Andy Ruiz is going through with the man Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And Dillian Whyte wasn't feeling that, so he ain't take the fight. You know what I mean? So before I believe that myth, I gotta see the man Dillian Whyte even at least win some kind of world title. You know what I mean? He's beat Joseph Parker, but he got a lot of assistance from the referee that night, straight up. You know what I mean? He did. And I'm not going to be one of those guys to say if it was a 15-round fight, he would have got knocked out. Oh, he almost got knocked out in the 12th. He was lucky. There's boxing. It only goes 12 rounds. You know what I mean? But I don't believe in the guy like you do. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I don't even think he can beat. He barely beat. He was losing on my card to Chisora. He caught him with that left hook, but he was losing. Despite Chisora even deducted 2 points, which I thought was egregious. So it's gonna be hard for me to believe that, man. Straight up, man. I mean, I'm not knocking you for what you say. If that's what you believe, hey, man. If he just gets knocked out by anybody in the course of him not becoming undisputed, I'm gonna remember this video, Whoopants, and I'm gonna ask, where you at? Where you at, Whoopants? All right then. Whoopants says. Peabody says, "Wow, the delusion of this cat right here." Whoopants says, "Just my opinion." We shall see if your opinion comes to fruition, man. P Money says, I'll never forget how badly hurt Whyte was against Parker late in their fight. That was Whyte's best win for me. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking about too. The Joseph Parker, the best opponent he beat. But he got a lot of assistance from the referee, and one of them knockdowns was a headbutt. And it wasn't really a knockdown. And there's a lot of dirty tactics in that fight, and I'm not one to be bitching over dirty tactics, man. Look, if the opponent plays dirty, play dirty too. But he had no, man. Look, man. Even if he tried to play dirty, man, he'd only be risking points getting deducted, like Derek Chisora got points deducted versus Dillian Whyte, and/or disqualification. You know what I mean? While the man Dillian Whyte is basically trying to throw the man over the top rope like it's WWE. WWE. You know what I mean? Whoopet said, I've seen him fight live on a couple of occasions. Whyte has serious heart. Don't sleep on him. It's very hard for me to consider a guy who's a predicate PD abuser with heart, man. You just have to understand where I'm coming from, Whoopans. It's look, man. I don't dislike any fighters in boxing just for nothing. The guy has made it easy even for me to make such a video. You know what I mean? And he's made it easy for the WBC to tell that man chill the f out while you ain't the mandatory no more. You've taken steroids. Even if VADA cleared you, you're still under investigation in UCAT. B samples ain't come out yet. You make it easy for people to flame you up and put you and check you. You know what I mean? So, does he have heart? I don't know no PED abuser who has heart. That's the first time I've ever heard that correlation go between a PD abuser and if he has heart. I just never heard that before, and I just can't roll with that. You know what I mean? Okay. Thinks out the box. It says Dillian should have taken the low ball from AJ. Yeah, he could have. She might have, could have, should have. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's a player true in England who sells out arenas. Let me see what this guy Zulani Tete talking about. This man's eyes looking mad. He looked like he was crying.
Because we've been working since last year, since I had this injury, and they've been working with me.
Or maybe that's the right eye that got caught by the right hook by Casemiro.
I just want to thank them for sticking with me.
Nah, he been crying. He got tears in his eyes.
It was not our night tonight, but once again I bounced back. And you kept, you wanted to continue. It seemed that you were caught high on the head, and you had no control over your legs. Is that what you remember? Yes, that's what I remember.
Temple shot. That's what it was. All right, where we at, man? Yeah, Finks out of boxing. I'll say, as far as that, should have taken the low ball. The first money wasn't no low ball offer. It was actually some good money. It was his highest payday. But in the rematch, just like Deontay Wilder, he wanted to know how much the other guy was going to make, especially if he does beat him. You know what I mean? He shouldn't make, if there's a rematch, at least do a 50-50 split. But AJ, who calls himself the landlord, he don't call himself that no more. Yeah, they asked him about that, and he's not really calling himself the landlord no more. I listened to that the gloves are off interview he had with Andy Ruiz, and he didn't seem so confident to me. That's just what I took out of it, you know what I mean? But you never know. We shall see December 7th in Saudi Arabia. Matter of fact, does anybody in the chat know what time that fight will be here in the USA? Considering it's in Saudi Arabia, and I heard Saudi Arabia is 3 hours ahead of Europe, and here on the East Coast, London, England is 5 hours ahead of the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, you know what I mean? So that should be 8 hours total. Yeah. Finks out of boxer says Saudi is 8 hours ahead. So are they going to consider putting this fight on for us in the States at prime time? Or are we really going to be having to watch this fight December 7th, having to run to our TVs and watch a main event at 2 p.m.? Is that really what they really want us to do? Look, I have no problem. I'll watch it at 2 p.m., but man, that's whack, man. They better put that. You see how they do over there in Macau, China, or Australia when Barbarian does his top rank cards out there in the Philippines or Macau, China, or Australia when Pacquiao's fighting. Man, he'd make them people out there fight on Sunday morning, so we here in the United States can get that prime time, nighttime on Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? They'd be waking up. They'd be fighting like Jeff Horn versus Manny Pacquiao, man. That was like Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? It was about like midday over there. You know what I mean? Real talk, man. So I wonder what time it's really gonna be. All right, where we at? E. Woodson says you're entitled to your opinion, fam, but not in this lifetime. Are you even close to reality, Whoopers? E. Woodson, man. He's spitting knowledge, spitting facts, man. Like, I just don't know about Whoopers theory. But hey, man, like I said, if Whoopens knows something we don't know and got that almanac, hey, man, he's gonna be doing a lot of us. But he has to prove it too. Well, I'm not just gonna put money on his theory. You know what I mean? P Money says, "What up to E Woodson? Fix all the boxes says Saudi's 8 hours ahead. Main biker says like 4 a.m. Fix all the boxes says the real boxing Mecca, Mecca, Saudi Arabia." Whoopaz says, "Now you know how we feel in the UK watching fights in the US." You know, when I be out the country, when I go to my country in Kenya, man, I wake up at, if a fight is at 10 o'clock Eastern in USA, I wake up at 6 o'clock. I have no problem doing that. And that's just for me personally, you know what I mean? But if you want to get your boxing product out there, a highly anticipated fight like Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua, man, you're not gonna get a lot of views having having that fight, the main event starting at 2 p.m. And 2 p.m. is totally different from waking up at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. like you have to do in the UK. So I wouldn't know how it feels. You know what I mean? Because 2 p.m. is that's like lunchtime. You know what I'm saying? That's when the sun is at its brightest peak of the day. You know what I mean? So nobody waking up at no obscure hours to watch the fight. I'm just mentioning how 2 p.m. If that's the case, if they're 8 hours behind ahead of us, so like a British, like a British pay-per-view. Like I'm watching a joint right now, BT Sports. I don't know who these Dawsons are. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I know who Zolani Tete and Casemiro was. British main events start on the East Coast at about 5 p.m. and it's 5 p.m. right now. You know what I mean? Um, you check it. So if they're 8 hours ahead of us, Saudi Arabia, that would mean 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, that would mean 2 p.m. And that's not an ideal time to be watching no boxing main event for one of the most, not one of, actually the most anticipated fight of the year. You know what I mean? You check it. So where we at? Main boxing biker says like 4 p.m. I think I meant. Yeah, I'm thinking more 2 p.m. because 5 p.m. is when these UK main events start for us. You know what I mean? Um, Thinks out of boxing says 4 p.m. Eastern is accurate. So that's what it says. Actually, that's the absolute time it's gonna start. E. Woodson says salute to P Money. Wolpass says I would definitely prefer it to be in the UK or US still. Feels like a sellout. Feels like a sellout going over there. Yeah, they're trying to maximize profits, man, and I personally think I think it's an advantage for Joshua without a doubt, no question about it. It's an advantage for him going over there to to the UK to Saudi Arabia. It's not an advantage for Andy Ruiz. If the cards is close, I see him giving like a majority decision, split decision. It's gonna go in favor of Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? To be honest, only way I can see Andy Ruiz leaving up out of there with the decision is if he batters him like 10 rounds to 12, 10 out of 12 rounds. And then he just still might just get a draw. You know what I mean? He really got to let his two hands be the judge, right and left. So it's LaRon Richards versus Lennox Clark. That's the main event that's on my screen right now. You know what I mean? On ESPN Plus and BT Sport 2 in England. E. Woodson says, good point though, Whoopants Real Talk. Thinks Out of Boxing says, DAZN.com says 4 p.m. approximately for the main event. Okay, that's what's up. Thanks for letting me know, man. Thanks for letting me know, you know what I mean? So at least they trying a little bit to, I guess, satisfy the US customer, you know what I mean? But You know, like I look, I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I have at 6 o'clock to watch Japanese cards. I have no problem whatsoever waking up to see a particular fight I'm interested in. You know what I mean? But for us to be on the sport, especially here in the United States, I want every fighter, I want all eyes on every fighter on in every division, every fighter that fights on TV. You know what I mean? But I think it's gonna be a disservice having it kind of too early, where the American public might not be able to get to. You know, it's Saturday, man. That's the first day off of the first day of the weekend. I mean, some people might be taking their lady out shopping or going out for to taking their kids to the movies on Saturday or running errands that you can't usually run during the weekday because you're so busy doing your 9 to 5. So we shall see. But B Marsh Boxing, thinks out of boxing says, hardcores will watch Japanese cards with their coffee, but try convincing casuals. True indeed. Man, when them cards wake up, man, I watch them in bed. I don't get out of my bed. I watch them in bed. Might put it on the TV or the tablet, but it is what it is. But Sky Sports need to do better. British public media, they need to do better, and just period. Every media member. You see me as a man, I'd probably get kicked out of events because I would ask guys like Canoli, how do you figure you're a four different weight class champion when you have a stupid regular belt? When the real WBA champion is Callum Smith. Answer, can we get answers, please? They're not gonna like that. Just like the fans don't like that. Ask that. Hey, this is another thing, and I might have to make a different video about that. Actually, I'm gonna say that for a different video. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm gonna ask these type of questions. I'm gonna ask Dillian Whyte, what's up with the PD? Where's the B sample? ETC. You know what I mean? I'm gonna ask the questions that we, the boxing public, want to know, and not no fanboy shit. The real news. You know what I mean? Because when you watch your local NBC or Fox or ABC or CBS news, you know what I'm saying? I can't really call it for your city. It might be biased, it might be not, but they gotta report the news, not just what you want to hear. They gotta report everything. You know what I mean? So big ups to Fix Out of Boxing, E. Woodson, Whoopets, Main Boxing Biker, salute, P Money. Shout out to all y'all coming through in the chat. Hope I ain't lead nobody. What rep it? CMD Boxing Reports. Big up, big up. Shout out to all y'all coming through. And let's keep putting our foot on this guy Dillian White's neck. You know what I mean? Because this guy, this guy is worthless. He's actually the biggest waste man in boxing. Big ups to everybody in the chat. He ain't like no Big Baby Miller. Big Baby Miller said the truth about his transgressions. Dillian White is trying to sweep it under the rug, but not with me. I'm on it. Peace.